Welcome, parents and students, to Senior Guidance, and congratulations in advance to the graduating class of 2022. Make sure you save the date. Graduation will be here before you know it. And again, congratulations to our class of 2022 as being the first class from the Alliance Academy that will have attended all 4 years, right around the corner, May 21st, 2022. And let me introduce you to the counseling team at the Alliance Academy. My name's Tom Neighbor. I'll be narrating this presentation, and I handle students with the last names A through GAN. Picking up right behind me is Mrs. Halwa Kim Han, one of our counselors who handles students with the last names GAO through O, and Mrs. Chris Johnson handles the back of the alphabet, students with last names P through Z. So we are assigned alphabetically as students get to know their counselor over the 4 years of being with us here at Alliance. Ms. Flo Taylor is our registrar. She handles all incoming and outgoing records, as well as sending transcripts off to the colleges, so students and parents often will get to know Mrs. Taylor, who does an amazing job. So the big question is, what are our seniors doing after graduation, and where will they be going? Most seniors, more than 90%, will be going off to a 4-year or 2-year college or university immediately following graduation. Some of our students may go ahead and take a gap year to do something meaningful, such as travel or mission work or whatever it may be before starting college. Some of our students will go on to continue and serve our country in the military. We want to thank those students in advance for their service, while some students will do both military and college, as many opportunities exist there to assist with the cost of college. Some of our students will be entering the workforce, and we are more than happy to assist with resumes and any sort of job preparation that we can. And the remainder of some students are just not sure at this point and still deciding. Graduation requirements, of course, parents and students, you've seen this before, a total of 23 credits to graduate. Our counselors have met individually with our seniors in the ELA classes, Advanced Composition, as well as AP Literature here at Alliance to review their transcript and ensure that they are scheduled for their last requirements, with most of our students only needing their 4th English class, possibly 4th math, or possibly 4th science in order to meet graduation. So our students are right on track. Help, I can't remember all of this. Ms. Kim Han does an amazing job with our website. There is so much useful information there on the counseling website. And how do I get to the counseling website? You go to the main page and then go over to Student Services and Counseling. Much of the information that you are seeing here is in regards to our senior page. Of course, don't forget the student profile and senior brag sheet. Lots of good, useful, helpful stuff, including the senior toolbox. And that's where you'll find the senior profile, as well as the parent brag sheet, in which we encourage our seniors and parents to complete that and submit it prior to September 15th. So we will have it for college applications and recommendation letters. Okay, when we met with our students in their ELA classes, they were provided a copy of their transcript. This unofficial copy looks much like the document that colleges will get, which is their academic record, including all the credits and grades for courses students have taken since entering high school, as well as a couple of courses they may have brought in from middle school. There's a cumulative GPA, cumulative weighted GPA on the transcript, and we did highlight with our students the final graduation requirements that they are taking this year. The document that you see to the right is the HOPE report, which looks at a student's core GPA from grades 9, 10, and 11, and gives them their progress report for the HOPE scholarship. which we will be talking about momentarily. The Hope Scholarship, what is it? What does it cover? And how can it benefit me? So, any students graduating in the state of Georgia who are legal residents will have access to the Hope Scholarship, which is awarded for a 3.0 or higher core GPA from all 4 years of high school. So yes, that's right, senior year does count. Students need 4 rigor courses or more, and that's what we will see in a few minutes, in which the Hope Scholarship does pay for about 85% of tuition at an in-state public school. In-state private colleges will accept it as well. However, it is a flat fee or a flat dollar amount that goes towards their tuition, which of course private school tuition is considerably more costly than public school, but students still will receive an award that will be applied towards that. How is my Hope and Zell GPA calculated? It is all 4 years of high school from your core classes. Hope is a 3.0 after all 4 years. The Zell Miller, which pays 100% of tuition at an in-state public school, is a 3.7 GPA from all 4 years of high school. And students also need either a 26 ACT from one sitting or a 1200 SAT from one sitting in order to gain that award. Okay, so the big question comes up, what are rigor courses? Students need 4 rigor courses in order to qualify for the Hope or the Zell Miller Scholarship. Of course, many times people think that rigor courses have to be higher level learning or advanced placement courses. Now, although AP courses from any core subject area do count, essentially, in order to qualify for the Hope rigor, this is a college preparatory curriculum. So an on-level Algebra 2, on-level pre-calculus, really a 3rd and 4th year math for most students will qualify as rigor. Chemistry counts as rigor. Any level 2 world language or higher counts as rigor as well. So most of our students have absolutely no problem getting more than 4 Hope rigor courses. If you have any questions about this, the full list of rigor courses is available on the GA Futures website. SATs and ACTs, a good many of our students are still taking these, maybe for the last couple of times. These are the remaining dates for the October 15th and October 18th application deadlines for early admission at UGA and Georgia Tech. There's limited opportunities to still pursue these, which students should think about applying regular admission if they still need some more time to go ahead and take an SAT or an ACT. So there is some time to still take these exams. It's just the time is running out. If your student hasn't taken one yet or is thinking of just taking that for the last time to improve a score, we highly recommend booking those and registering for these tests as soon as possible. College visits. Of course, the pandemic has helped with colleges putting more good information on their website in terms of virtual visits, student information panels, etc. There is some great information and virtual tours you can find. Nothing beats actually visiting a college in person, especially for a college that a student is serious about attending. Our seniors do get 4 excused absences to go ahead and pursue their visits, as we like them to visit when the college is in session. We highly recommend making a reservation so a student knows they have a spot on the day that they will plan on visiting. There is a permission slip, which is required for it to be an excused absence. The instructions and the slip itself are located on the counseling website on the senior page. All right, college websites give us a great deal of information. Most importantly, the application deadlines. We need to know those. We need to know the application requirements, any fees for applying, as well as any scholarship deadlines. Parents and students, be careful. Please note and check with any colleges that you are seriously considering, as their preferred deadlines or scholarship deadlines are often well before the application deadline. So we don't want you to miss out on any potential merit-based scholarships. So we recommend that students please confirm and finalize their list of colleges that they may be applying to by September 15th or no later than September 30th. And note all of the application deadlines as well as the scholarship deadlines, as we don't want you to miss out on any of these wonderful opportunities. Okay, this is a really cool map of the United States with various colleges that are noted for each state. Now, a couple things to consider here. It's pretty neat to look at this in the big picture, as the location of a college is one of the most important factors in choosing a college. Location, size of the college, as well as the major that a student is pursuing. This is actually a clickable map which allows students to go to UVisits and take some virtual tours of colleges if you haven't been able to visit on your own. Okay, as we mentioned, do your best to finalize your list by the end of September at the very latest. College search engines are really good if students are continuing to look for more colleges or do some more research. Please visit the counseling website for any of the college representative visits that are coming up. And of course, those college visits are there to go in person. College fairs, there's lots of good college fairs, particularly on the NACAC website, which we have a link to as well, and many virtual fairs that are coming up this month and in October to help students and actually speak with representatives from the college. Okay, senior year timeline. Of course, we talked about the SATs and the ACTs and your last opportunity to go ahead and take those before applying. Students often ask us, do grades count during senior year? Of course they do. Colleges are going to look at a student's grades, especially if they are in a regular admission pool. They're going to want to see the courses that a student is taking as a senior. Most importantly, those first semester grades will be something that is taken into consideration for students in a regular application pool with a January or February deadline. Again, the college list, we want you to go ahead and finalize that no later than the end of September. Once a student goes ahead and puts their application together, they will also need, in many cases, a teacher recommendation. Then when they apply, there is that waiting period. Decisions will come out anywhere from 2 weeks to about 8 weeks after the application deadline for students. And then as we move into graduation, we want students to be thinking about and making a decision by May 1st as to the college that they plan to attend. So on the counseling website, you will find the Senior Toolbox. This is a great resource for seniors and parents to go ahead and utilize. It includes a checklist, everything you'll need for finalizing your applications and sending in all the supporting materials. I want to take a moment to talk about the senior profile and the parent brag sheet, the importance of these. And we ask that students submit them by September the 15th, as this gives us ample time to work on students' recommendations and school reports for the applications that they submitted. So students, please give us as much detail in there as you possibly can, as it helps us to support you. Parents, this is your time to brag about your students. And there is plenty of good information that we have used in the past to include in your student's application and recommendation. Transcript requests must be submitted at least 3 weeks in advance to ensure that it gets there in time, 3 weeks before the actual application deadline. It's okay if you request those before you've actually applied. That's fine. And then there's other good, useful information there regarding the different types of applications, the Hope Scholarship, and even ways to calculate your GPA using a really fantastic tool, depending on how colleges are going to calculate. Are they going to use core? Are they going to use cumulative? Are they going to weight your GPA? This can help with you determining how competitive you would be for a particular college. So great information here in the Senior Toolbox. Okay, so the Common Application. Most of our students will use the Common Application, which is a wonderful tool. It was actually started about 40 years ago as a platform for multiple schools to use since they all ask for similar types of information on their applications. Now there are close to 1,000 colleges on Common App, in-state schools that you'll find there. University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, Emory, Georgia State College, to name a few. So this helps students streamline the process in terms of only having one main application to fill out and one main personal statement for the colleges that are utilizing the Common Application. Teacher recommendations, counselor recommendations, the invite is really simple, easy to use. There's great information on the Common Application website. So our students that have not yet created an account, go ahead and do so, and see us with any questions that you have, but you will complete the personal information and so forth. There are many support tools on the Common App website that will help students with their application, and counselors are here to support you as well. Okay, so again, the senior profile we talked about, where do you find it? You find it in the senior toolbox, okay? And then we want as much detail as you can possibly offer us here that's going to help. And parents, please don't forget your brag sheets. These are optional for our parents, but when you do fill them out, we do read these and utilize these where appropriate for completing students' applications, the school portion of the application and or recommendation. Okay, social media in college. This is not the first time you've heard us say this, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the importance of social media. During the classroom guidance meetings that we had with students, we stressed that any time you apply for something, whether it be an internship, a scholarship, or a college application, you can expect that they will potentially look you up on social media. So we want our students to go ahead, and if there's anything out there that does not reflect positively on your students, our recommendation is to clean up any social media, and of course, using only appropriate email handles when communicating with colleges. Okay, so let's talk for a moment about one of the most important components of a student's application, the essays, the personal statements as asked by Common Application, or the supplemental essays asked by each of the colleges. Now, this is something that we highly recommend students put some good, solid thought into and dedicate some time and effort to. Why are the colleges asking these questions? Well, they simply want to know more about a student's story. They want to know who the student is, more than just a grade point average or what they were able to score on a standardized test. So please, parents, we encourage students to take the time and do these right. The 650 words on the personal statement or a 200 or 300 word supplemental question is their opportunity to demonstrate why they would be a particular fit for the colleges that they're applying to. Make sure that you proof and edit these. Students are encouraged to come to counselors and teachers with questions and assistance needed on any of the essays, personal statements, or supplemental questions. Let's talk deadlines for a moment. So fairly simple, the first two. Regular admission deadline is typically going to be January 1st, January 2nd, right around there. We generally recommend that students plan to get everything into a deadline 2 weeks prior. Please don't be working on your applications on New Year's Eve when it has a January 1st deadline. Make sure that they've requested their transcripts, have everything in well before we go on holiday break. Rolling admissions is a little bit different in that once the college has all the students' admissions or application materials, they will go ahead and make a decision on them and notify the student. Now, rolling admissions typically really don't have a deadline date. However, as programs fill, they can become more selective. So any rolling admissions schools that our students are applying to, we always recommend apply during that first semester. Is going to be in your best interests in that timeline. Okay, so those two, fairly easy. Regular admission, typically in January, and then rolling is ongoing, but apply in that first semester. Okay, next, early decision versus early action, or as we sometimes like to say, early confusion. So early action, lots of colleges will have early action, typically public colleges. These are non-binding agreements, so I could apply to 4 or 5 schools early action, typically October or November 1st deadlines, and I would either be accepted, deferred, or denied. If I apply to 5 early action schools and I'm accepted to all 5, and I know that before we go on holiday break, that's wonderful. I don't have to make a decision on which one I'm attending until the May 1st national decision deadline. Now, early decision, think of that as you've decided. Students can only apply to one college early decision, and that is a binding agreement. And what you are saying here is, if I'm accepted to this particular college, well, I will withdraw all of my applications and I am bound to attend. This should only be used when the student knows that that is their absolute top choice college. It certainly can increase the chances of a student getting selected in a highly competitive application pool. And then there's one other called single choice early action or restrictive early action, used by some colleges as well, that limits the amount of early action. And that's where we sometimes say early confusion. Any questions on this? It is best to visit the college's website about their early policies, as they will explicitly state them on their admissions, freshman admissions, and the application deadlines. Okay, so let's consider time frames here for requests. If I'm applying to a particular college and that deadline date for early is October 15th, I want to make sure that I request my transcript at least 3 weeks prior to that deadline so we can ensure getting it there on time. There is an $8 fee per transcript. Now, I think that's really per application. If I'm applying to 5 colleges and 3 of them are on common application and the other 2 are independents, well, that's 3 transcripts that I will request, 1 for each application, 1 for the common application, even though it may contain multiple colleges, and then 1 for each of the additionals. Just make sure we're given the ample 3-week turnaround time. Also, teacher and counselor recommendations where they are required. Folks, please give your teachers and your counselor 3 weeks before the due date to request that, and so they can take the time to really put together the best recommendation for our students. If we're within that 3 weeks, we may not be able to get it there in time because we have lots of these to do, and we want to make sure that we can help the student by giving them our very best recommendation and dedicating the time that we would like to put into it. The final checklist, of course, first thing, complete that senior information brag sheet. Students that are taking the SAT or ACT, again, make sure that you get registered for those. Of course, make sure you pay your college application fee, review those applications, teacher and counselor recommendations and transcripts. Make sure you give us that 3-week turnaround time. For individual final checklists per college, please do visit the requirements page on any college website that you, for the colleges that you may be applying to, for the full details of anything else that you may need. But this pretty much covers what a school would be looking for from a student in terms of the application and other materials. Okay, class of 2022, again, congratulations. So there are senior fees that are due by December 1st. You might want to get these taken care of sooner than later. And that $150, that covers your cap and gown, your tassels, your diploma, the very nice diploma cover that is included from the Alliance Academy, as well as any medallions, pins, and expenses associated with the ceremony. Senior Scoop. This is great stuff. This goes out to parents. It's got lots of good stuff in there for your seniors, including important information, upcoming events, important dates. Parents, make sure when you do get this, peruse through it and reach out to your counselor with any questions. Okay, and the timeline again, September 15th is when we want students to submit those brag sheets. And also we recommend that students really have together their list of colleges that they would be applying to. The first deadlines for early action are going to come around mid-October, as followed by some of the early decisions and more early actions on November 1st, December 1. Some more early decisions, as well as in November and December, pay attention to priority deadlines, which are the deadlines students need to meet in order to be eligible for many of the merit-based scholarships. And then, of course, January, February, March. And in March, we're keeping in April looking for those responses from many of the regular decision applications. And then, of course, National Decision Day coming up in May. That's when you will have to put your deposit down for the colleges or college you have decided to attend in order to hold your spot. And it has been wonderful talking to everybody. We hope that you found this presentation and the information contained here to be helpful. Counselors are always available in the Media Center during lunchtime. If students have any quick questions, if they have questions that are more in detail, please have them make an appointment to see their counselor. And we will talk to you real soon. And congratulations to the Alliance Academy class of 2022.